So this video is going to talk about a pretty philosophical question and something that means a lot to me. Sorry that I was just lying in the chair there. But I was talking with a friend about basically relationships and how you change so much over the years, you know? So if you're with someone long term, they're going to change a lot over the years as well. That's kind of a fact. And obviously you have to be okay with who they are now, and you have to be okay with who they are planning on becoming, because most people have a plan and they go towards their plan of what they become through their habits and everything as they change. Also, one thing that you really have to keep in mind, which I haven't really thought about before, is their process of change. So this whole video is going to be surrounding the question of what is your process for change? Yes, you. Take a moment to really think about that. For me, I haven't really thought about that question at all. What is my process to inducing change in my life? You know, I think about when I've really grown as a person and what it took to go through that. First, I think the catalyst for me personally, a lot of times for really big change, is some sort of catastrophe, some sort of moment that really throws everything out of the window for me. So like in high school, just like a moment of some great realization where I was like, all right, I really got hurt. Or my most recent big change in my life was a breakup, you know? Just feeling like, all right, obviously what I was doing didn't work. I need to change myself, because it often comes from other people too. It's something external. But I am so fast to criticize those people outside that I start criticizing myself, seeing what I myself did wrong. So once I have like the things I can improve on, I tend to look for some solution to that problem that I can solve within myself, and I end up finding all these other things. Then for me, one process of change, if I hear something repeatedly and it sticks out in my mind. I listen to a lot of podcasts, read a lot of books, but if something just keeps coming up consistently, like part of the reason I'm making these videos is I was reading a book and he's talking about making daily content, and part of it. And then at the same time I was reading that section, I was watching a course and getting on these live calls, and the guy on the live call was just saying, hey, this is my journey from making daily content. And I heard that within like 5 times in a week. And I was like, you know what? Some people believe in signs. I'm not necessarily sure what I believe in terms of spirituality and signs, but I know if my brain is picking out those moments and I'm taking notice to them repeatedly, then that's something important for my mind. And it obviously has some significance in my psychology, therefore I should take action on it. And that's basically where I take that value from. So it also comes from seeing those solutions, or seeing certain things that I should input in my life or take out of my life even. Like let's say for drinking this month, I've greatly reduced the amount I'm drinking because I've been hearing that day in and day out, some people saying on different podcasts, hey, I quit drinking. I'm like, you know what? That's significant to my psychology. I'm going to take action on that. Therefore, that's what I did. But yeah, that's kind of my process of change. And then from there, I get a great result, and then I kind of stick with that for a while. If I see something is working well, I stick to that habit for a long time. For example, meditation. I got on 30 days consistently, and now it's hard for me to quit because I'm like, it's working for me. I'm seeing the benefits after 30 days. Therefore, I will continue. Sometimes I do drop things if I don't see the benefit in it after creating the habit, after creating that moment of change. Like certain social media strategies, you know? If I'm posting, I tried to go viral on Be Real once, you know? I was seeing how can I do this? How can I make an impact on Be Real? And I didn't see much growth in it. I could have continued, because a lot of people say you don't see actual impact on things until maybe 6 months down the line or 2 years down the line. But for me, I was like, is this worth my effort right now? Not necessarily. So I decided to ditch that, delete the Be Real app. That's what happened. Same thing with Snapchat. I was, let's say, Snapchatting like my friends, girls that I was dating, whatever, every day. And I thought it was valuable. It was good to get a relationship going. It was good to just keep in on what everyone's doing, keep those streaks up. I then thought, hey, what happens if I quit What happens if I just stop this all of a sudden? I did, and my concentration got better. I stopped checking my phone as much. I turned off notifications. That's probably one of the biggest habits for me, and I'll probably create a whole video on that, is simply the magic of turning off notifications on your phone. Not enough people do it, and it is an absolute game changer for anyone. Alright? That's one challenge that I suggest. If you made it this far in the video so far, decide for a week you're going to turn off all notifications except for calls on your phone. I don't get texts, so they text me still. I check my texts when I want to. Any notifications from social media, even chats. I use Instagram a lot for just texting people. I don't see those unless I open up the app, And I'm going there specifically to go check my messages, not to do anything else. It just really helps your concentration. Notifications are this new thing that basically takes our past psychology, and it's in this new environment where we haven't yet. We see something's changed, and that's relating to this video. We see something in our environment changes super fast, a ding, a buzz from our phone. And our monkey brains are like, oh my gosh, something's happening, something's changing in the environment, so let me go and try to see what it is. That's relying on our monkey brains right there. And our brains haven't evolved to be like, oh, it's just a text, oh, it's something else. You always have this feeling of wonder until you see it, But yeah, my process of change is just picking up habits, and I feel like habits are huge. I mean, that's just the ingredient to any change for me. It's basically you are the summation of your habits. Therefore, when you are trying to change something, you got to develop a habit to change it. Everything is over a prolonged period of time. Some people don't necessarily change when something drastic happens in their life. They change more so when they see something good. So let's say if they're having a really good time, they'll see, how can I make this better? Or you also have to see if people go in immense recluse or if they open up a lot. For me, I change a ton when I'm in recluse. I'm a caterpillar into a butterfly. That's how I change. I end up taking a lot of time to myself in periods of change. Like this past month, I think has been greatly transformative. And I've honestly been interacting physically with very few people. I do a lot of online meetings and whatnot, but I really develop in my mind what I'm going to change into, and then I come out and present myself to the world. And I feel like in times where I am super extroverted, meeting tons of people out and about in ways like that, I don't change that much as a person. But that's just me. Some people only change when they get exposure to others, and they see other people talking to them and get to analyze their reactions and everything. I have a great friend, I was just talking to him earlier today, where he said he developed most as a person when he shifted his business from online to in-person. When he started doing in-person work more was when he really felt personal growth. And that's just it with some people. I find personal growth when I'm alone. And when developing a relationship with someone, especially romantic, you have to be okay with the way they change. You have to make sure that you're able to best support them in their methods of changing. Some people really change for positive notes. Some people change when you're like, no, you're stupid, whatnot. And that's for me. When someone talks down on me, something clicks in my head where I'm like, all right, I have to change something. While some people, when they're getting, let's say if they dress with a new certain way, or have a new style, get a new blouse or something, when they get compliments on that, then they're like, all right, I'm going to dress like this more. That's just how different people work. So recognizing your partner, what type of change they respond to, and how they go through change internally when they do. Some people, you can't control the moments of big, vast change. It just happens, and you have to recognize what that process is for your partner and accompany that the best you can. That's a huge part for a lot of people. It's just recognizing that someone is, and especially one thing I read in a recent book, The Way of the Superior Man, is the goal of a relationship is for two people to become their most divine selves together and learn from each other. So you have to be able to be a teacher for that person when they are looking to learn. Sometimes they won't be looking to learn. For me, I respond great when I'm not looking to learn something. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and I learn from them. But other people, yeah, I'm open to learning at all points. Other people, there's only certain points where they're open to learning. And you have to be okay and recognize how your partner learns and changes over the years. And then that way, as they have their own vision in their mind of how they will be in the future, let's be honest, you have your own version. And that way you guys can kind of meet in the middle somewhere and each direct yourselves where you want the other to go or where they want to go themselves. And often, especially if you guys are both aligned in values, that's going to be the best outcome. You want someone that will help you grow and change as you go about it. So that's some little stuff for you. I definitely am going to journal on this prompt on just what is my personal process of change. That way I can recognize that and know that for not only future relationships, but also myself, and recognize when I am in a big period of change. Hope you've really gotten value from this video. Hope it's made you think a little bit. If you like more of this type of content, feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment on your whole thoughts about this. And feel free to like if you have gotten some value. My point with each one of these videos is as long as one person watches it and gets value from it, I'm happy myself. So feel free to watch this video, which is another similar video. It's what the YouTube algorithm is suggesting for you. And I hope you have an epic day.